What's going on, guys? My name is Eric and this is Beyond the Numbers. I'm going to break down the two games we watched today. The two games are the Miami Heat and the 76ers, game 3, and it was also game 3 of the Phoenix Suns and the Dallas Mavericks. As you can see by the title, is Luka Doncic overrated? Hot take, I'll tell you that. A lot of people don't want to hear it. I will say this, Luka played phenomenal today. Today was, in my opinion, one of Luka's best playoff performances, not just this year, in his career. I know he's dropped 45. Yeah, those 40-point games he had against the Clippers were phenomenal. Don't get me wrong, I agree. He can score the basketball at will. If you don't double him, he can score on you pretty easily because he uses his body. He's so physical. He's been playing in Europe for so long. I mean, this guy's been playing with grown men longer than these NBA players that have even been in the league. Some of these players are 20, 22, 23. They're young. Luka got a body at his age. He has a body, and he's taking advantage of these guys, and he scores at will. So when I say overrated, what I mean by overrated is a lot of people are considering Luka a top 5, sometimes top 3 player in the league. A lot of people are comparing him to Jordan because of this run. Look, guys, like I said, he can score the basketball. But Luka, the issue I have with Luka is his usage percentage. I know this is beyond the numbers. We don't talk about numbers that much. Usage percentage is a crazy stat. But if you just watch the games, if you actually sit down and you watch the games, you'll notice that Luka literally on, I want to say 70% of the possessions, he has the ball in his hands, he dribbles out the clock. 3 seconds left on the clock, he kicks it out to a player, they shoot it, they miss it, or he'll take it himself. The issue I have with Luka is, I know you guys say he averages 8 assists, he averages 9 assists, even this whole series he's probably averaging almost a triple-double, if he is averaging a triple-double. But the issue I have with it is those assists are only because he's getting them off kickouts. As a team player, he doesn't exist as a team player. He wants to do the load of the work himself. Luka's not here to share the light with his teammates. And I know you guys always have the argument, Dallas Mavericks haven't gotten far because Luka doesn't have help. Luka could have help right in front of him and he wouldn't even know it. I understand his star, that there's no stars on his team. I get it. Jalen Brunson's not a star. Spencer Dinwiddie's not a star. Reggie Bullock is not a star. Powell is not a star. Kleba is not a star. I understand that, but these guys can play. Finney Smith, these guys can play basketball, man. Like Jalen Brunson, the best thing Jalen Brunson does is initiate the offense. Not necessarily as a passer. He's kind of a scorer. He's very similar to Luka, but smaller. It's just he's a little bit more skilled as far as his dribble goes, and he has a better jump shot than Luka does. Luka has the body over him, obviously, but Jalen Brunson, for his height, he actually is a pretty strong guy. But as you saw today, Luka let Jalen Brunson eat a little today. And the more you allow Jalen Brunson to take over some of the load on the offense, the less of a liability Luka's going to be on defense. So Luka needs to understand and learn how to kind of pace his game. A lot of these times I see Luka in the first quarter, in the first half, just going off 20, 30 points in the first half. And if you guys notice, he gets a little bit timid in the third, fourth, he gets timid. A lot of his playoff numbers, if you look at his fourth quarter numbers in his 19 games or whatever that he's played in the playoffs, in the fourth quarter, Luka shoots 40% from the field, I want to say. And in the playoffs as a whole, he shoots 50% from the field. So he does wear off as the game goes on. Do I think they can beat the Suns in this series? Absolutely not. Do I think they can take it 6 games? Probably not. I think they lose game 4 at home as well, and then Phoenix takes it. Suns take it in Phoenix to win it in 5. Great performance by them. good hustle by the entire team, good energy. The Suns couldn't buy a basket. The Suns' offense was so sloppy, and the reason it was so sloppy is because Dallas was dictating what the Suns were doing on offense. Instead of waiting and reacting to what the Suns were doing, waiting and reacting to see what CP was going to do to them, they were actually very, very proactive in getting up on their defense, getting up on the offensive player, getting up on CP. Bullock did a great job on CP today. CP turnover machine today, never a turnover machine. Booker was literally did nothing. Booker, he had a few garbage threes at the end I saw, but I have a big problem with Ayton because this is supposed to be Ayton's series. Dallas doesn't play a traditional big. Dallas goes pretty small for the most part, and Ayton should be able to control this game and just eat, especially with a point guard like CP just putting you in your spots. Booker's great at putting you in your spots as well. Ayton should be eating. There was a possession I saw where Ayton just aggressively called for the ball in the post. I want to say he had Kleba on him. He called for the ball in the post. He caught it. I'm like, wow, this guy's going to just back him down and go for the dunk. Literally just got it, turn around, jump shot. I'm like, that's not your game, Ayton. I know you have the skill to make that shot, but when you have a smaller defender on you, especially one that's 4 or 5 inches shorter than you, you got to take that thing to the basket. And he's strong, he has touch, he has all the ability. He just isn't using it. At least for this game, he used it for the first 2 games, but I think the Suns will take control of this series and probably close it out in 5. Dallas needs to figure something out this season, but that's something for a whole nother video. We'll figure out what moves they can make, who they should trade. Is it even worth having Brunson and Luka on the same team where they're so ball dominant? They kind of, I don't know, they don't go very well together in my honest opinion. That's it for that game for the most part. And then there was the Miami and Philadelphia 76ers game from prior. I watched that game. Joel Embiid was back. Good to have him back. He had that orbital, his face. Embiid is just, he didn't even have a great statistical game, but Embiid is just impactful. You could tell by watching the game. As soon as Embiid stepped on the floor, just impactful on defensive end, on offensive end. Like, it doesn't matter, just impactful. He's in the paint just dictating what happens on defense and offense. Embiid, I don't know, man. Like, I really truly think Embiid should win MVP this year because of how important he is to his team. And Philly's pretty talented, if you ask me. Philly is pretty talented. If you talk about the top 5 players on Philly, they have obviously Embiid, they have Harden, they have Maxey, who's a fantastic scorer. He had like 22 in the second half today. They have Tobias Harris, which I think he's obviously overpaid, but he's a fantastic offensive player. He's not a bad defender either. He gets down on defense. And they have Matisse Thybulle, who is a phenomenal defender. Doesn't do much on offense, but a great defender nonetheless. Danny Green shot the lights out today. They have a lot of talent on that team, but you take out Embiid from that team, it's just it's not the same. Embiid is the engine that keeps that team running, and I honestly kind of feel bad for him that he had to waste all that time with Ben Simmons as a teammate. Ben Simmons was great in certain areas. He was a great defender. He distributed the ball well. He was good going to the basket, but the liability of him not being able to shoot, it's kind of sad that Embiid wasted those years in his prime playing with Simmons, even though he has a lot more time to win. But now he has Harden. We'll see what Harden's going to be able to do from now on, continuing on to the end of his career. He's getting a little bit old. I don't know about giving him a max deal at this point. I mean, the thing about Harden is you can't expect Harden to be the player he was in Houston. I think that James Harden is done. I think the last time we saw that James Harden was early on when he went to Brooklyn. He had some good games. I think that hamstring injury that he got in the playoffs really affected him, because James Harden has not been the same since that 2021 playoffs where KD and him played the Bucks up until Game 7, and Harden was basically on one leg. He was a non-factor in that series, but since that series, I haven't seen James Harden be James Harden. Do I think he's he's not a great player. No, I think you could still win with him as long as his mindset is there. Because Harden as a facilitator, I'd argue, is better than Harden as a scorer. I mean, he was a great scorer, don't get me wrong, but Harden as a scorer is kind of leaning towards the same issues that I was talking about earlier with Luka, where yeah, he gets assists, he piles on the assists, but they're not impactful assists. His teammates aren't getting involved. They're not in a rhythm. But now, I think Harden took about 11 shots today, I believe. 11 shots. If he's taking 11 shots, I still think he should take more, maybe 14, 15, 16 even. But that means he's really distributing the offense. And when Harden is distributing on offense, I think that team can go far. But yeah, Philly finished it up with a tough win today. It was a must win. If they lost that game, they would have went down 3-0. Same thing with the Mavs, and series would have been over. I'm just tired of media members overreacting to these 2-0 series. Like, they go 2-0, they win 2 games at home. You did what you're supposed to do. Like, can we not call the series over? Like, can we wait? This is NBA basketball. How many times have we seen teams come back from 2-0? Like, last year, the Clippers, I think the first 2 rounds they were down 2-0, they came back and won those series 2 rounds in a row, and then they played the Suns in the Western Conference Finals, went down 2-0 again, took it all the way to 6. So losing the first 2 games on the road, especially, it's not the end of the world. It's not great. You want to pick one up on the road early on, but it's not the end of the world. And I'm just tired of all these media guys just losing their minds over this, like, just like 2-0 series over, this is a sweep. Stephen A. Smith will say, this is a sweep. Like, Stephen A., cut it out. Like, you, at this point, you barely know basketball from what I see. But tomorrow we got some great games. We got Golden State, we got Memphis playing together. For that last game was physical, so we'll do a recap of that tomorrow after I watch the game. And then I believe Boston and Milwaukee are gonna play too, which both those series are 1-1, so it's gonna be pretty hardcore, and I'm excited for it. So this is my first video. Do me a favor, just subscribe if you like this. Shoot me a like. I don't really know too much about this YouTube stuff, but maybe we'll make it big one day. You never know. So yeah, like, subscribe, and thank you for watching, guys. Like, I hope we can go ahead and build something from here on out. You guys have a great night or great day.